Hey guys, welcome to Band Book Week Day 3. So now we are moving on to my physical books that I read. So this one comes up on lists every year. I've just been kind of avoiding it. I don't know. I guess, honestly, I didn't even know what it was about. I knew there was a movie made about it, and I wanted to watch it after I finished reading the book, but it wasn't anywhere streaming for free. Like, you could buy it on Amazon Prime, and I almost did, but I just didn't have time, honestly. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about the Kite Runner, or I guess it is the Kite Runner. So another thing I wanted to touch on before we go too much farther, this year I decided, because I have become such a person who tabs their books while they're reading, I decided that this year for Banned Book Week to try and make my life easier to remember things, that I would have a system for trying to remember what was like when there were instances of violence and swearing and sexual stuff. And so I devised a color system with my tabs. So yeah. And so orange was sexual, red was violence, blue, like a dark blue, was swearing, and I failed in this respect with Kite Runner because there was a couple instances of swearing, but I struggle with swearing because sometimes I just gloss over it and I'm like, oh, whoops, they swore. And so I have to go back and put tabs, but I just forgot with Kite Runner. There was a couple instances of swearing, near the end of the book, a couple of F words, but that was almost really it. So green was anything race related, and then light blue was anything like drug or alcohol related. So you'll notice there's no green in this one, and there probably should be, but with this book it was difficult because if there was anything racial, I probably just didn't recognize it because they might have been using racial slurs that I didn't recognize because it's a different country. So I might not have recognized that they were being racist if they were using racial slurs I didn't recognize. And I also felt bad about that. So but as you can see, there is let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 red tabs, 2 orange tabs. I feel like there should have been maybe 1 or 2 more orange tabs near the middle or end. I don't know why there isn't. I don't know. Maybe in the part I'm thinking of, I was just so in shock I forgot to put an orange tab. And then the light pink tabs, I should have chosen a different color. Those are just that's just something that I wanted to mark as if I were just reading another book for fun. And it's just something I want to remember. This part, the main person's father is talking to his best friend, and because he was just frustrated with the main guy as a kid, how he wasn't being what he expected, and the main person's father's best friend says, children aren't coloring books, you don't get to fill them with your favorite colors. And I just really like that because a lot of times parents just want mini clones, or just to have kids that are what they want and not kids that are their own people. So I really like that line. But anyway, yeah, The Kite Runner. What is it? So The Kite Runner is a 2003 novel by Khaled Hosseini. I have no idea how to say his name, and I feel bad. Um, but it takes place in Afghanistan, and it tells the story of, it starts out with when he's a little boy, Amir, and it kind of really delves into his childhood friendship with Hassan. And it's kind of complicated because Hassan is basically a servant of the household. Hassan and his father are Amir and his father's servants, in essence. But, I mean, they're also the main guy, Amir, and his father's best friends, but they're also like their servants. But, I mean, they treat them really well. They're more like family than servants. They just happen to also do everything for them. But so it takes place in Afghanistan, and there was a conflict between Afghanistan and Russia, and some other really horrible stuff ends up happening with Hassan while they're children, and then there's more stuff with the conflict between Russia and Afghanistan, and people have to flee the country, and so they end up getting wow, I can't think of words today. They end up getting separated, and so it follows Amir in his life as he grows up after they flee to America, and it just follows his journey and coming to kind of terms with what happened with Hassan when they were children, and then trying to wanting to find Hassan later in life, and that whole journey. And I'm not gonna lie, at times is not an easy book to read. I don't want to go into too much detail and ruin the book for people who haven't read it. Because I would definitely recommend reading this book, because at no point did I get bored. It's a fascinating story. It's very interesting. But like I said, there are some parts of it that are very hard to read in other ways. Yeah. There is definitely, yeah. So there are specifically 2 points near the, I wouldn't say the beginning, but the beginning half of the book and near the end of the book that have to do with child rape. And while it doesn't ever get too explicit in describing it happening, the way it's alluded to and described, I guess you could say, it's very it makes your skin, it made my skin crawl. It's very just disturbing and icky. And yeah, so I will say there is that for sure. Okay, so why was Kite Runner banned? So I mean, it's pretty there. It was banned for depiction of sexual assault, depression, attempted suicide, rape in graphic detail, and vulgar language. I mean, the vulgar language, yeah, I would say that was my first red. No, that was my first orange sticky note, was the kids were getting harassed by like a worker in one of the fields talking about the one boy's mother. That was a little, yeah, vulgar. But I'm trying to oh no, attempted suicide. Yeah, that's definitely in there. It's so sad. This book is definitely, it's very sad. Um, and yeah, I wouldn't say the rape in graphic detail is in there. Like, it's not incredibly graphic, but it's there. It's definitely there. Um, and it, like, mostly has to do with children. Like, it, yeah. So, yeah, it's rough. And I get why people would have a hard time having younger readers read it, but again, as I said before, like, having high schoolers read it, that shouldn't be an issue, because you should be prepping these teenagers to become adults and be in adult situations and being faced with things adults have to face. So they need to be prepared. So, yeah, I don't think it should be banned. I enjoyed it. My coworker saw me reading it at work, because that's what I do on my breaks at work. I read books. So he actually brought me the sequel. So I'm going to start that after my current book. I think the second one is bigger. I'm wondering, because the first book ended in such a way, I don't know where you go with a sequel, but we're going to find out. So there is book 3, day 3, The Kite Runner. Let me know, you guys, what you thought of The Kite Runner if you have read it. I'd be interested to know. Yeah. And if you've seen the movie, if it was a good adaptation. I've heard it was really good, so I want to be able to watch it eventually. So, yeah, let me know. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a book, you guys. Yeah. All right, I love you so much. Bye.